series of lessons where I'm looking at open position, simple chord shapes, triad shapes, moving them up and down the fretboard, showing you the associated scales and licks to expand your vocabulary and your toolkit when you're playing all over the fretboard. Again, this is similar to the CAGED method, the CAGED method. I am simplifying it by showing you just three: the A, the D, and the F. In the CAGED method, they call the F shape E, which as you can see is the exact same shape. I think it's easier, more instructive to call it the F shape because that's the way you finger it when you play it up the fretboard, as we're going to be doing in these lessons. If you've not seen the first two, I'll link the second one here, which is on the movable D shape, and I will link the first one, which is on the A shape, at the end of this lesson today. So today we are looking at the F shape. That's what I was playing in that demo. I'm playing the same 1-4-5 in the key of A that I used in the other two lessons. We've got an A major, we've got a D major, we've got an E major, which I played at the open position. I started off up here, because that is where the F shape of an A chord would be, right? If we take an F chord and we move it up to make it an A, it's here at the 5th fret. And what I did was I played some Hendrixy hammer-ons. I showed you a lot of this sort of stuff in a series of 3 Hendrix-inspired lessons I did a few years ago that you should definitely check out. Jimmy did this a lot. The lick I played was very similar to the end of the solo of Wind Cries Mary. He does it in a lot of other places, but that's the one that sticks out to me. You're barring the 1st and 2nd strings at the 5th fret and hammering up to the 7th fret on the 2nd string. So you've got the root, you've got the 5, and you're hammering up to the 6. All these licks in the CAGED system, or the FAD system if you want to call it, the FAD, the one I'm showing you, are going to be out of major pentatonic. So the A major pentatonic, you got the 1, you got the 2, you got the major 3rd, you got the 5, 6, and the 1. Now, you might think, hey, that looks a lot like the D shape, which it does, but you're playing different notes in the scale. If it were the D shape, this note on the 2nd string would be the root, and it's not, it's an E there. So don't get confused by that sort of thing. The only reason that fingering looks similar to a D shape is just that happens to be the shape of the A major pentatonic there in that position. So you're hammering from the 4th fret to the 6th fret on the 3rd string. And you can hit that root note, the A at the 7th fret, 4th string with your pinky or your ring finger. That was that first lick. Then I played essentially the same lick, only using slides. So bar the first 2 strings at the 5th fret and slide up to 7 and back. Play the 3rd string 4th fret, 2nd string 5th fret, and slide those up 2 frets to 6 and 7. So that's all I did on that second lick. And again, playing off the root. I just walked up the A major pentatonic scale there to lead change, which was to the D chord. If we're going to play a D chord in the F shape, we're going to go up here to the 10th fret. Now obviously when you're tying all these together, this isn't the way that you solo, right? You don't go, oh, I'm over an A chord, I'm at the 5th fret. Oh, I'm over a D chord, I'm at the 10th fret. You're going to mix up these different shapes as they are convenient to wherever you're located on the fretboard. I'm just breaking it down for you this way because it's the easiest way to learn. And I'll show you more about how to tie these together in a minute. But anyway, we're up here at the 10th fret for a D, and I did the sliding sixths licks, which I've shown you a million different times. In this case, you're sliding into the 11th fret, 3rd string, that would be your major third, and hitting the 1st string at the 10th fret, that's your D note, that's your root, and going up to the 12th fret on 1 and 3, and then up to the 14th fret on 1 and 3. So I went something like that. You can do so much with those. Sliding six, again, reference a lot of the other lessons. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it here. But remember when we did the D shape, that exact same lick would be played on the 2nd and 4th strings. So I hope you can hear that is the same as exact same notes. We're just playing on the 1st and 3rd and the 2nd and 4th here. This one's out of an F shape. This one is out of that D shape, or I showed you how the D shape is really just the C shape moved up 2 frets, right? So I did a little sliding six lick there, and I came back down to the 1, and I did a double stop lick on the 2nd and 3rd strings. So again, you're right out of that chord. That's why I'm showing you these. If you're in a jam session and you're up here at the 5th fret playing an A chord, and you're like, I want to throw a fill in. What do? I don't know what to do. Well, play part of the chord. Whatever, right? So playing the 5th and the major 3rd, then I'm barring, well, I didn't bar, I'm playing it with 2 fingers, but 2 notes at the 7th fret on the 2nd and 3rd strings, and then that would be 8 and 9 on the 2nd and 3rd strings, and then just kind of going back and forth. It's a fun little lick. I showed you something kind of similar over the A shape. Again, it's not the same lick because the notes have different relations to one another in the scale. So you do have to learn the different patterns over the A shape, but over the F shape. Play around with that. To the 1, and then when we went to the 5, which is an E, again I could have come up here, I could have done any of the other licks that I've done so far in this, which again is illustrating, don't get locked into I can only do this lick at the 5th fret over an A chord. No, the whole point of this is any of these licks can be played over any chord in any position. So any of the licks that I've played so far, I could have done over the E up here. I chose to come down here and do a scale lick, which is one of my favorite scales, and I really want to show you. So I'm sort of playing an E power chord there, right? The root and the 5th and the root again. And then I went So we're going 2 to 4 on the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings. At that point I slide up to the 6th fret on the 4th string and play 4 and 6 on the 3rd string, and finally landing, where do you think I land when we're over an E chord? Right on an E note at the 5th fret, 2nd string. So what I've done there is I've tied together an E or an F shape riff, scale riff, with the scale out of the D shape of an E chord. So we have the F shape of an E chord, and then as soon as I come up here, I'm in that, right? That's a D shape, moved up 2 becomes an E chord, and I land on the root, the E note. So this lick, this scale lick, just know that when you're over the F shape and you're playing a full bar chord like this, you can go up 2 frets and you've got just the same way over the A shape. When you went up, you had, hope you can hear that that's the same thing again. It's the same pattern, which is cool too, and that gets you all those Hendrixy. In fact, Hendrix did one of his most famous licks out of that scale at the beginning of Red House. He's playing a blues, which obviously has a lot of minor pentatonic licks, but he throws in that major pentatonic thing. He runs right up that scale, which is essentially what I did here, only he does. So, copped a little bit of a Hendrix there, but simplified, so. And then I ended on a Chuck Berry-ish riff, again back on the 1, so we're back here at the 5th fret. So just know that you have a wide variety of Chuck Berry style licks to play out of this F shape. We're barring first 2 strings at the 5th fret again, then we're going to bar the 2nd and 3rd strings at the 7th fret, and then the 2nd and 3rd strings at the 5th fret. This is the only time in this whole solo that we're adding a note out of the minor pentatonic, the minor 3rd there, but we're quickly hammering on to the major pentatonic, the major 3rd there at the 6th fret, 3rd string. So it's just a tease, it's just a, it's that tension between the major and minor pentatonics that oftentimes makes a lick so cool. You can give that last double stop a little bit of a bend, again to bring it closer to the major. So double stop, double stop, double stop, hammer, 7th fret on the 1, the 4th string, the 1 note, the A, 4th string, 7th fret, and then immediately lay that ring finger back down over the double stop. So of Chuck Chuck Berry style licks. You could have played those over the D, over the E. Same way we could have played any of the licks over any of those chords. Hope that all makes sense. We're going to continue talking about these things because this is the essence of guitar playing, is opening up this CAGED system, or the FAD system if you want to just simplify it again to FAD, which is what we're doing here. Thanks for joining me. I will see you next time.